the truth about venting, because this is a very, very important topic I want to speak about, because it really dawned on me in my spirit to put this out there for somebody who just needs to understand that when you vent, that can either go two ways. And when you listen to somebody vent, it can either go two ways. Both. Because when you start to tell somebody about your problems, usually it's because you want to get some either clarity, understanding, or you just want to get what you're going through off your chest. One or the other. Which I don't believe is anything wrong with that. I feel like that's normal. Actually, I feel like it's more healthier to vent to somebody than to bottle it up. You know? You see, the problem is when the issue is so severe, you don't know who you may be speaking to when you begin to vent to a majority of people in your life. This is when the enemy will try to attack you through specific people. So it's best that you keep discernment in your life when it comes down to venting, because you might not know who you're venting to. Some people may take your venting as if you're trying to manipulate them, or if you're trying to get sympathy from them, as if you need their help. They might not understand that you're going through something and this may be a new experience for you. And maybe that person might have something to say, or a perspective that may be able to change your views on it. And maybe you may just be open ears because you may be going through a real issue. Sometimes it could be like a cry out for help. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because I feel like sometimes in life people go through tough times. See, I'm a believer in Christ, but I don't believe that like you have to be perfect. Even if a person of Christ gave you some advice and said, oh, you should do this, if you follow God, that would have never happened. I'm not that type of person in Christ. You got some people like that in the church. You got some people like that in this world who try to hold you accountable for every little thing, as if you're not just making decisions, with thinking optimistically about the decision that you made. You're just thinking positive about it. You're not making a decision and saying, oh, I'm just making a decision and, everything's bad is going to happen because of this decision. You know what I mean? So sometimes you got some people who will hold you towards what you tell them, and they will use it to take advantage of you because you're going through a situation. And this is the bad side of venting. Like, you got to realize some people don't have your best interests. And I think that in today's time, and if you look around, a lot of people vent on different levels, and they pick and choose who they vent to. And they also limit the amount of venting that they do. You know what I'm saying? Or some people would say they'll have a discussion and they'll try to get an understanding. You have people who use very authentic, unique ways of venting. Sometimes people will vent, indirectly. They'll beat around the bush by talking about a topic and involving different people and, getting different people's opinions. And the truth is, they really been going through something, but they don't really want to talk about it. They just want to see how everybody else may see what it is that they're going through. This is a strategic way some people will vent, and they'll keep bringing up the same topic all the time. So instead of having a conversation and saying, hey, this is what I'm going through, they'll kind of like, put that energy out into the world and, get around what it is that they're trying to learn from different people. They're trying to get a better perspective of their issue. You see, which is cool, but I still feel like when you speak about something and you let it out into the world, like, hey, I have a problem, you need help, I feel like that's a whole different way of fixing your situation. And it could be dangerous when speaking to the wrong person who may not have your best interests. Especially if you're a chosen one and you moving on this walk with Christ, you got to know that a lot of people don't see things the way you see things. So when you vent to somebody who don't even believe in God, or don't believe in the God that you believe in, you got to know that that's going to bring a problem towards your life. You know, and this is something that I've learned. You know, you got some people who will vent, and every time they'll vent about the same thing, and you'll get tired, like, oh my gosh, they're going through the same problem. It's the same problem every time we talk, right? And that person may not realize that there's nothing that they can say to help in that situation. You see, everybody's not as empathetic as the chosen ones. A real chosen one will give you advice. We'll even tell you, oh yeah, we tired of you bringing that up. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we can even be that person where we will vent about what we're going through, because we don't like to hide who we are. We like to be ourselves. We're not going to pretend like everything is perfect in our life, because you got some people out who's like that. They'll pretend like they have no problems. They'll hide their problems, or they'll try to figure it out on their own. And sometimes it's not good, because they tend to bottle up their emotions, and then later on they'll put it out on the people next to them or around them. They're not even realizing that they're putting their personal issues and the anger that's, you know, bottled up inside them from their problem, the issue that they may be going through. They'll put it out on somebody out the clear blue, just spaz off. You're like, hey, what was that about? They're angry for no reason. The Bible talks about no man should be going to sleep angry. Some things you have to really think about, and you have to spend time figuring out a solution towards the problems you may be going through, and who it is that God is calling you to be through that situation you may be experiencing. You see, something crossed my mind. You know, I've really been thinking about how people cope with their, you know, life situations and circumstances, and how to be a better, you know, just listener. Because I feel like it's nothing wrong with people venting about their problems. I feel like the worst thing about venting is when you're venting to somebody who doesn't care about your issue. Or when the person that's venting is looking for sympathy, but they really don't have a problem. They just want people to feel bad for them all the time. That's different. But when you have somebody who's venting to you, and they're telling you about an issue, even if they cause that issue by something that they maybe made a mistake in, you don't hold that against that person. Because we all make mistakes in life. Sometimes that person may just need a solution towards getting out that problem. And if you have the solution, you can always give the advice. And if that person doesn't take the advice, or that person keeps doing the same problem over and over again, that's different. But you never hold nobody to no mistake that they've made, because trust me, you can be easily in that same position as that person. What goes around comes around. You might not understand why a person's going through a problem at the moment, but trust me, God will show you why a person was venting how much they did. And be careful, because you got people out here that they will literally fall into the same problems of the people that they was, you know, talking down on, like, oh, this person's always venting. This person always looking for sympathy for their issues. No, it's not that the person's looking for sympathy. It's because they're actually going through a real problem where they maybe made a mistake. Maybe they were in the process of learning something that they've never found themselves in them circumstances before. This is a real thing, you know, like if a person can admit that they're learning something, or that they've maybe made a mistake in who they chose to be around, or what type of business they chose to be a part of, or what type of environment. Sometimes people have to live and learn based off of the outcome after they've made a certain decision. People are not always 100% sure, oh yeah, I'm making the best decisions in my life. But they find themselves miserable, or they find themselves not growing, or they find themselves in the relationship with a narcissist. That part right there, Once you in a situation, it's not like you could just turn back the hands of time. No, when you're in something, yes, you could go cold turkey, but sometimes it's not that simple. Sometimes it takes time to really evaluate, to even be 100% sure. And that comes with God revealing to you, like God does for the chosen ones. And when you pray, when you take time to step back and analyze and observe what it is that you've experienced in your life, God will show you. God will reveal to you who people were, why they were the way that they were, and why they treated you the way that they treated you. Sometimes it has nothing to do with you, but it has a lot to do with the people that you were dealing with and where their heart was at. Not everybody has a genuine heart. Not everybody has a forgiving heart. You see what I'm saying? You can sit there and vent to anybody, and anybody can vent to you. It's nothing wrong with expressing what you're going through, because that's what venting is. It's you literally expressing you're experiencing something. Never feel bad. Just be careful and choose wisely. I would say don't vent to nobody. Pray to God. If you feel you have to talk to somebody because the situation you're going through is a tough situation for you, is detrimental, then do that. I would even say get a counselor. I would never tell nobody that, because even counselors, some counselors don't have people's best intentions. You meet a random person and just expect them to really care. You don't know who that person is. All that comes with trust. You see, when you meet a counselor, it's already given right off the beginning. Oh, they can, they want to trust you, and you should trust them, and vice versa. You should put your faith into their opinions when they might not even stand for what you stand for in life. How are you going to go to a counselor who don't even believe in what you believe in? Hear this. And then when you meet somebody who do believe in what you believe in, who's to say that they believe in what you believe in all the way down to the detail? That part right there. That's why you have to pray. This is why you have to think about the responses you get from everybody in life when you vent about your situations. Because you can talk to anybody. Just because they don't agree with you or you don't agree with them and you vented to them, or even if they vented to you, that doesn't mean that you gotta hate them or, be aggressive towards them, because there's this mature thing called agreeing to disagree. Yes, that's when you put on your grown-up pants. Hear them telling you. Agree to disagree. Walk away. It's okay. You're going to maybe hear somebody that has more understanding and believe in God, or like you chosen ones, or, who really want to see you do well or overcome a problem in your life. People can hear what you're going through and actually listen to it and not feel like they have to disrespect you or judge you or criticize you because you're not perfect. But these are the same people that have problems in their own life. Trust me, we all have problems. Nobody ever tell you anything different. Rich, poor, short, tall, it don't matter. Fat, skinny, whatever it is. We all have different issues in life. Everybody handles their problems differently. Some people don't speak at all. When the truth is, some people actually ought to vent about what they're going through. I feel like people will get a better understanding to just have conversation. You don't have to vent necessarily, but if you have conversation and ask questions to not only just people that look good on the outside, but actually to different people who may have overcome situations you may have been going through. Maybe they have a different outlook, different experiences, but then you have to really think about who these people are that you're speaking to. Do they really have your best interests? And then if you don't make a decision that they give you the the advice to take, are they going to change on you because you didn't take their advice? Because that happens. You got people that will change on you because you vented to them and you told them your issue. They gave you advice and you didn't do their advice. So now they feel like because you wasn't doing what they said you should do, that you're a problem. As if you're supposed to listen to everything the next person says. I would never ever tell nobody who's watching my channel to do every little thing that I'm saying to do, because I know that all my videos that I put out there is not for everybody. This is for people who going through certain things in life, trying to get closer to Christ, trying to understand a different perspective on life that may help them in their situations, authentically, individually. This channel is about getting closer to Christ. So I don't know what this message is for, but I hope it resonates with the right one. Like I said, don't let nobody confuse you about venting. Venting can go either way. Just be careful who you choose to vent to, what you tell people, and where they stand at in life. I think that's the most important thing about this video I'm sharing, because you could be venting to the devil, or you could be venting to somebody who actually got an answer to help you. So hopefully this resonates. Just Righteous Water Flows. Peace and love. I gotta go, guys. Hopefully this helps somebody. One love.